Hi, my name is Beth Hiley.
My name is Shelly Ganshaw.
And we're here to do a quick walk around of Hall 3, which is humongous. So when we say quick,
We mean quick?
so let's go. So Hall 3 is by far the largest hall here at Essen. And to put it in context of comparing it to American conventions, is this hall and this hall alone is larger than Gen Con.
It's huge. And this is the most crowded room in the facility, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, and in fact, the amount of crowds that you see here right now, it's not open yet. So,
Right. So yeah, this is nothing. That's why we're doing this hall right this minute. Before you couldn't see us, hear us, or anything, because it's very crowded.
and while we always kind of make fun that they're real sticklers in the American conventions of not opening the doors even 1 second on time, they're pretty lax about opening the doors.
Used to be very strict, but now, last few years, I think they open quite a bit earlier, which actually is probably good and safer for people.
Now-
I imagine for entering. I don't know.
Hello! Now, as you can tell, this is generally the hall coverage that you get for the largest companies. So walking by, we just walked by Hasbro. We've got Queen on our other side. We've got Amigo and Schmidt-Spiele on either side of us. So we got the biggies in this hall.
And Queen keeps continuing, as you'll notice, very large. Lots of play areas for the people.
And a lot of these booths have a combination of public play space where you would get to do demos, a store, and then often, depending on the company, they might have an entire bank of offices where they can use for meetings, they can use for prototype designing, whatever they might want.
Yeah, because a lot of times people come to show their games, and they want to find just the right company to put out their games, and so they need to have places to meet. And they utilize these rooms quite a bit. That's behind the scenes. We're not taking you there.
Now, one of the things we should have done, Shelley, before we started was check our Fitbits to see how many steps this actually will take us.
Oh, I wish we had done that, but I kind of already know. We were at 3,000 at the start in our booth, but that doesn't count walking over here. But we'll be able to tell you approximately how many steps it is.
Now, one of the other big players that you're going to get in this booth is Cosmos, and then the entire back end of this hall is Asmodee.
Yes, very large. Many companies are now a part of Asmodee, so that's a very large playing area.
Although it's worth mentioning that even though Asmodee is an umbrella of many companies, a lot of those companies still have their own banners, their own unique support, and their own autonomy to a point. Like, for example, we're walking up right here. We're close to Matago Games, and they still have their own section.
Oh yeah, that's what's really nice about having some big umbrella that you're under. You can get support, but you can also be your own identity to a degree.
Now we're taking a right-hand turn, and we're making sure John, our cameraman, sees, because we are now up in the top corner, which is by the main entrance. So we're not going to get much closer than this, because we don't really want to get much closer to that crowd.
That's going to come, and it's going to keep going on and on and on and on, and you know the rest.
So that crowd fills the entire front lobby, out the door, and down the street. So onwards, we do not want to get crushed when those doors open.
No. And they're about to open really quick.
Now, the other thing that's pretty notable about Hall 3 is that because these booths are so big and because the space is so big, a lot of them, if John can pan up at some point, have huge banners, and it's actually one of the only ways you can really orient yourself within this space is to look for, like, for example, the giant Haba banner that's right above our heads, and it helps you get your orientating done in the space.
Haba's always huge here. Kids playing with their families. They've expanded into the market of just, some adult games, not just concentrating on kids, but you'll see lots of children in this area.
Yeah, Haba is now just starting to have a presence in the U.S. market, although they don't do their own sales. But since they are natively a German company, they do all their stuff directly for themselves here at Essen. Now, Shelley and I are just walking by the main Essen booth. This is where they actually have a lot of meetings of the people who help run the convention itself. But they're right out here in the middle of the floor, so they're generally really happy just to sit and chit chat with you. They're very open.
Very helpful. That's where you can go when you're stuck and you don't know where you're supposed to, where something is located. They'll help you. But of course, most people come to BoardGameGeek for that because that's where they go online as well as in the halls. It's as if we are live, not just on the internet. We're live doing that.
I will say that our jerseys are so recognizable, especially at conventions, that most people just consider us walking versions of the webpage here.
Yes, and that's really good if you approach Beth. Not maybe as good if you approach me outside the booth. Inside the booth, I can find you whatever you want. Outside the booth, not so much, because I don't leave the booth very much.
Now we're coming up to the back wall, which is close to where we started, and front and center, right, is the SPIEL de Jars booth. They host a large dinner every year that is invite only, but then they also have a booth where you can talk about the games that were both nominated and won, and you'd be able to sometimes meet the designers. They'll have special events scheduled throughout the show.
I don't think I've walked back here yet. This is new for me. I'm like, wow, it's been a while. Oh yes, you can eat back here too if you have some business or some pass or something. I don't know. We don't eat in here.
There's a hall I haven't even been to yet, and it's day 4 for us.
Yeah, that happens. Here it looks like some building area where you can build junk art.
This is pretzel games, actually.
Okay. Fun. I would like to come build something, I think.
And we're just about to loop back to where we began. So that was a huge loop tour, which took us walking at turbo pace, about 10 minutes to cover. If that gives you any idea of the size of how much we just covered.
This is John, the cameraman. I just wanted to make a couple corrections. HABA does do their own distribution under HABA USA. Matago is not part of Asmodee, and Hall 3 is not larger than Gen Con since Gen Con expanded.
Good. Thank you, because now we don't have to have the little text on the bottom that says that, because John is our text man. Thank you, John.
Instant corrections.
We love that.
Well, we're going to see if we can get over to another hall.
Oh. Yay, photo bomb.
Nikki for Queen Games, everybody. We're going to see if we can pop over to another hall real quick before the crowds descend, and that is a super fast tour of Hall 3 here at Essen Spieltag.
Yay!